Greetings. Today, the timeline of two-time rise and fall of reggae star Jah Cure. Born Sikatory Alcock, October 11th, 1978, in Cascade, Smithfield, in the parish of Hanover. The young Sikatory, with his mom Pansita Campbell, moved to the rough neighborhood of Flankers in Montego Bay. In many interviews, he admitted to being a very troubled youngster with a bad temper who was always getting into fights. On top of that, his home life was very unstable, with his mom coping to raise several children of different fathers and a stepfather who Alcock admitted was very abusive towards him. At age 11, the young Alcock became aware of his singing talents and won himself a talent competition in Montego Bay. 1993, at age 15, the young aspiring artist came to Kingston seeking fame and fortune, singing under the title of Little Melody. Settling in the Papine area, he linked up with the David House crew under the leadership of dancehall star Capleton, who shortly after changed his name to Jah Cure. It became evident to his peers and to the producers in Kingston that this kid had something special. By 1997, he scored his first set of hits: Sunny Day, Kings in This Jungle with Sizzler, Trod in the Valley, and in 98, the big one, Run Come Love Me Tonight with Jah Mason. Also in early 98, now under the mentorship of Lovers Rock legend Beres Hammond, the artist got his first taste of international touring experience. But it was Hammond that also noticed that the artist, now making a headway in the music business, was needlessly going back and forth from Kingston to Montego Bay and was associating with some very unsavory characters. In November 98, it would become evident what his trips to Montego Bay were all about. In that same month, a young lady, Susan Ferguson, her aunt, and a male friend were abducted outside of the Flamingo nightclub in Montego Bay. The two women were then taken to a deserted area and raped. The morning of November 16, 1998, Jah Cure, while driving in Montego Bay, was pulled over by the police, identified by Susan Ferguson, and taken into custody for the sexual assault. April 1999, Jah Cure was convicted of rape and sentenced to 15 years in prison. After spending 5 years behind bars, the artist was given a second chance. A program spearheaded by a man called Superintendent Wright afforded the artist to start recording new material from behind bars. This was history-making, as Jah Cure became the first artist to score back-to-back #1 hits from a prison cell. In 2004, he had the two big monster songs, True Reflections for Down Sound Records and Longing for super producer Don Corleone. July 28, 2007, after spending 8 years and 3 months, Jah Cure was released from prison. He resumed a career that was cut short the first time and came out with a bang, scoring hit after hit after hit, catapulting himself to become the biggest reggae star in the world. Everyone thought This is a changed man. He was having the wildest ride of his life, enjoying enormous success. In August 2011, he married personal trainer Camilla McDonald in what was described as a royal wedding. Successful he was indeed, but a changed man, that was something else, as after only 4 years of marriage, him and his wife separated, with McDonald citing domestic physical abuse. Then, December 2020, a video leaked to the public with the artist threatening women and subsequently physically assaulting them in a dispute over refusal to have sex. The artist's out-of-control behavior continued, beefing with other artists, verbally abusing his peers, disrespecting everyone who helped him, showing extreme ingratitude, and berating fellow artists, disc jockeys, and soundmen. It now became quite obvious to everyone observing his behavior that prison time did nothing to tamper his violent inclinations, and that his arrogance exposed someone who is an accident waiting to happen. Many people became shocked at his over-the-top behavior, bragging about material possessions, being ungrateful to those who help him, and violently trying to resolve disputes with people whom he disagreed with. In October 2021, the simmering volcano exploded and everything came to a climax. In the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, the artist stabbed a promoter whom he had a dispute with over money and was taken into custody by the Dutch authorities. March 2022, the world was shocked once again when the artist was sentenced to 6 years in prison on a conviction of attempted manslaughter, after the prosecution played a voice note where the artist threatened the promoter, which goes to the heart of premeditated behavior. Sad to say, but the 43-year-old Jah Cure learned nothing from his time in prison, and his inability to control his temper and to tame his ego landed him once again in the belly of the beast. Now he has 6 more years to contemplate about a life filled with mistakes. This is Roger Grant for Reggae News Network. Until next time.